Under Armour is a gap down dumper on earnings, and the market is just open. We're 2 minutes into the open. 15-minute has a mini inverse pump breakdown. 5 minutes looking like an inverse pump breakdown as a 1-minute stochastics crosses down. Now, 1-minute stochastics forms a mini inverse pump. All three are going to form a perfect storm breakdown. We went ahead and took 500 shares short at 78.35. And we're looking for a perfect storm breakdown here. We got the 1-minute mini inverse pump, 5-minute inverse pump, 15-minute mini inverse pump. The first inside of the 5 minutes moves extremely fast. This is only for seasoned traders. As soon as we're in, we're already looking to place our limit orders to go ahead and get out of this thing. We know 77.50 is a coil support. Right now it's overshooting. As the 1 minute makes a lean through that 20 band, we want to take advantage of that liquidity and cover into the flush down, which is exactly what we did. We're out at 77.78, 500 shares on 47-cent gain for plus 288 profit. Now keep an eye on that 77.40, 50, and 60. That's what we call the stinky 250 support area. This is where a lot of newbies will jump in, try to find liquidity, chase the short down, and that's exactly what the algos want. They want to tease you, pull it away from you, steal the liquidity, make you jump in, and then what we see so many times, we get that flush right back up, trapping the newbies. So stay out of that first 5 minutes unless you are a seasoned trader. Now, as you become more seasoned, you see things faster. And that's what seasoning is all about. Noticing all the little nuances and intricacies faster than the average trader. Okay, faster than anyone who's just pulling up the stock. Because you've been there, you've done it enough times. It's seasoning. And that, my friends, takes time and experience. Have the commitment, put the time into it, okay, and then you too can play the first 5 minutes if the setup is there. Once again, Under Armour was a gapper. This is what we call a dumper. Short on a perfect storm breakdown. We caught the liquidity. We're in, we're out. And look where it's trading at now. Pop back up to 78.70s. Anyone who chased the stinky 250s just got flushed right back up. It's 9:34 a.m. and that 9:35 candle close, that's when you want to first start watching. Thereafter, to look to play the opening sequence. Okay, now we're watching the Under Armour dumper. This is after the first 5 minutes. We're 8 to 9 minutes into the open, and we're watching now as the 5 minutes now trying to form a mini pup, and the 15 minutes trying to cross up. 1 minute trying to form a mini pup. We take 1,500 shares to the long side because Under Armour is actually buy fading against the SPY. Take a look at the SPY in the charts down below, and you'll notice that Under Armour is actually buy fading. Notice also the 1 minute, once it made the coil off that stinky 77.50s, stinky 250s area, it peaked, it pulled back, and then it stalled. It's stalling right now at the 80 band. Okay, the 5 minute has a mini pup. The 15 minute is trading above the 5 period moving average, teasing a crossover. Now, take a look at the SPY. The SPY leaned down. Okay, the SPY is making a lean down, and look at Under Armour. It should be selling off, but actually it is holding up. And the 5 minute 515s moving averages, okay, the middle chart up top, you'll notice how tight that 515 period moving average is. Now, just now, 9:40, look at that. Look at the stochastics in the 5 minute. Formed a mini pup, okay? On that close, formed a mini pup. So if you're just looking at level 2, you might be saying to yourself, oh man, this thing is not, you know, look at the SPY selling off, this thing is not bouncing. But if you have the rifle charts, you'll notice that the 5 minute, notice how the yellow line, the percentage D slopes up. That's called a mini pup. So that's the ace up our sleeves. 5 minute has a mini pup, 1 minute has a mini pup. Look at the SPY, 174.60. Remember, 174.60, 50, 40 is the stinky 5s levels. Don't even need a chart for that. So the SPY is selling off right here, 174.60, 50, 40. Those are bounce levels. Got to keep that in mind. While everyone else is panicking, okay, you have to keep an eye on the prize and understand that this is actually where the SPY could bounce. And so we take a look at Under Armour, and 79 is a key break. Look at that. 1 minute takes a mini pup, 5 minute takes a mini pup. We already placed in our sell orders, 79.21, 79.25 for 500 shares apiece. And as the SPY makes even the smallest coil, Under Armour squeezes a perfect storm breakout to the upside. And we get filled 500 out at 79.22, 500 out 79.31. Those orders were placed ahead of time. Those are nominal breakout levels. Obviously, we look now, they're pretty conservative, all right, but we still have 500 shares here. And this is what we call stinky fives levels. And 79, 40, 50, 60 is a stinky fives level. So when you get a spike up through those levels, you want to be taking your profits. So the 5 minute and the 1 minute, when you get a dual mini pup and the 1 minute stalls at the 80 band forms a mini pup, that's called a plan AB long setup. And that's exactly what triggered here. 1 minute's going through that 80 band, and the 5 minutes forming a mini pup up towards the 5 minute 20 period moving average. We went ahead, sold another 300 shares out, 79.66. We have 200 more shares left, and look at this thing go. 1 minute trying to squeeze higher. We see that the 80, oh actually 79, 90, 70, 79, 90, 90 to 80 is a 5 minute 20 period moving average. And this thing is all just setting up right here. And now look at the SPY. Keep an eye on the SPY too. 174.50, okay, 55, I'm sorry, is where it coiled off of. And as the SPY also makes a coil, all it does is give Under Armour more juice to the upside. But you see the 1 minute candle closed, and now you have a continuation candle trying to form as the SPY takes a coil. But see, the thing is, the beauty about the opening sequence is, even though you have correlation with the SPY, there are times where something is set up, especially perfect storms, where the SPY won't even make too much of an impact, at least in the short term. You got to keep that in mind. In the short term, ultimately the SPY will make an impact. But when you have something like Under Armour that's trapped so many shorts, okay, within the first 5 minutes, they trapped a lot of shorts that came in late, and now they've got them on the run. Look at the 80 break. Right off the bat, we know 80, 40, 50, 60. That's called stinky fives, resistance levels, 80, 40, 50, 60, all right? And so this is where you need to be locking the rest of your profits out, or taking out more profits right into the pops. Now, we kind of forgot about the extra shares that we had, and was a little busy taking screenshots. So in my need to educate and run the chat rooms, totally forgot about the 200 shares that were still long, and so that's why there's a lesson we learned here. Okay, stinky fives, upper range. You get a hard spike like that, you got to be taking your money out into those spikes. Okay, everyone else did. We still got the 200 shares here. Totally forgot about that. So, you know, at this point, and look at the SPY. SPY rejected off the 1 minute 5. That's not helping. Under Armour flushes right down through that 1 minute 5 period moving average. And at that point, you know, the longs got trapped. The shorts got trapped. Look at the 5 minute chart, guys. Okay, you get a hammer, and then you get a star, okay, and a doji right in the middle. So within that 3 candle sequence, you have yourself a range from 77.50 to 80.50, almost a 3-point range, give or take a dime. And that's the beauty of a wet climate when you're playing gappers and dumpers. Now, you got to make sure that you have the right training, you're familiar with the stock, okay? So it's not something you just jump right into blindly. You can get hurt, and it takes some training. But the beauty about playing earnings season gapper dumpers is you're going to get them 4 times a year. Okay, so now this is not my first time playing Under Armour. All right, played it enough times, learned the hard way how choppy it can be. Sometimes it can be very choppy, like a coach. All right, and sometimes you can get just these beautiful magnified movements, just like we saw this morning. So that's the Under Armour dumper long trade sequence after the first 5 minutes. Okay, we gave it the first 5 minutes. We got in right before the 9:40 candle close. On that 9:40 candle close was where we got the 5 minute to form a mini pup, and then the 79 break was the explosion to the upside. Long 1,500 shares, 78.98, and scaled it all the way on out up to 79.66 and 79.15 on the way back down. 550 profits in under 8 minutes on a dumper long perfect storm breakout.